Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Today is Nissan 11, and we're focusing on holiness today. Let me explain what that is. Holiness and purification.
Amen.
So, let's blow the holy shofar,
Yes,
and then we'll get into today's lesson. Okay.
Amen.
We blow the shofar according to Psalms 81. I am not tired.
Okay.
81, Psalm 81, 3. Okay. Baruch atah, Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher, Kitzenu, Bomitzvotah, V'tzivanu, Al Mitzvah, Shofar, V'Shem Yeshua. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Scatter your enemies, O Lord.
Amen. Go forth, my Lord. Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Good. He just ate, so he's kind of tired, but he did it. Amen. Okay.
11th day of the battle.
11th
One
day.
more day to go on this segment, and you should be feeling it. If you've been doing your spiritual warfare for the past 10 days, coming against the enemy, and of course the enemy is coming against you,
Yeah.
you should be a little battle weary by now. Well, today is purification. Yesterday we had the Shabbat
Hakadol.
Haggadah,
I would take
the
the
big Shabbat, where our Israelite fathers were commanded to bring a ram inside and take control of that. Okay? And they did that on the 10th of Nissan. The next instructions regarding Passover or Pesach involves the Chametz or Chametz, depending on your pronunciation. And that simply means leaven.
Yes.
Beginning Nissan 15, okay, we are commanded to eat unleavened bread for 7 days.
Right.
The Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days. Chametz represents the victory. Hallelujah. Okay.
Y'all still there? Hold
You want
on.
me to move or?
Hold on. I don't know if that messes up anything or not. Can anyone say hello? Let us know you're still there. I should have put a do not disturb thing on our phone before we started. And I forgot about that. Do not disturb.
Are we broadcasting or not?
Shalom. Someone say shalom. Let me know you're there. Okay, thank you. Okay.
All right. Sorry for the interruption. We're content rich, but production poor.
Production poor. We're
Okay.
getting the hanger.
All right.
Thank
We're
you.
talking about the chametz, and chametz is simply leaven. And we know that, you put a little leaven, those of you who bake, and I'm not one, I've just been told this, you put a little leaven in your bread in order to get it to rise. And it doesn't take much, just a little. And that's how sin is. So we're commanded to have no leaven in our food for 7 days, beginning Nissan 15, all the way until Nissan 21. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 7 days. Okay? And then at the next Shabbat on the 22nd, the next lunar Shabbat, we can eat leaven again. There's a holy convocation. at the end of those 7 days. Now, what's interesting about not having any leaven in your food is that I had suspected for a few years now, or maybe about 2 years, I realized that the Passover Seder, the bitter herbs and spices and everything that you eat in the Seder is microbiome friendly. It supports the good microbiome. You know, the wine, you know, the fermented wine has the cultures and the enzymes and the various microorganisms that support your gut health. Yeah. Okay? So, you know, I saw that in the Seder. And I said, wow, you know, God is intensely purposeful again. The food that we eat beginning the night of Passover helps bring about good health. One of the reasons for the Passover meal or the Pesach meal is to sort of recharge and rejuvenate our health. Mm-hmm. And so I said, you know, they call matzah, the unleavened bread, the bread of life. And the rabbis teach that eating matzah brings about healing. And I just got a Facebook post. Someone shared a Facebook post with me a few days ago, how leaven is poisonous to the good microbiome. Yeah. So when we partake of the Passover meal and eat the unleavened bread and the bitter herbs and spices and the other things that go on the plate, I'm going to talk about those specifically tomorrow. We are actually restoring our health. We're giving a boost to the good microbiome. Yes, for our health. And we know that the microbiome has the ability, if it's in balance, if the good microbiome is where it should be, it can turn on and off your DNA. It can dial off or dial down diabetes, cancer, and other things. We're learning that now through epigenetics, how the microbiome plays a part in that. So getting rid of the chametz out of your diet for 7 full days will give a boost to your health, a boost to your immunity system. So we get rid of that. The morning of the 14th, we're commanded not only not to eat matzah, but on the 14th of Nissan, that morning, you're supposed to make sure all the matzahs out of the chametz is out of your house.
Chametz, not matzah, sorry people.
Chametz,
right.
The leaven. And traditionally, Jews will, they do spring cleaning. They make sure there's, no leaven in the corners and in the form of dust or anything like that. And all of the leavened bread has to be gone. They either throw it out, I guess some of the Reformed Jews I've read, or you at least have to put it like in the freezer or something. It cannot be readily available to you. And there's a little ceremony and some special prayers that we pray the morning of the 14th that, for purifying the house in Hebrew. And we take 10 pieces of bread and we burn them. And we say those prayers as we burn the matzah. And usually observant Jews they'll hide 10 pieces of bread around the house and the kids have to find it and then they set it on fire. So it's almost like the Hasidic version of an Easter egg hunt in a sense.
But with meaning, it does have meaning because it's a represents sin.
With real meaning, of course.
Right.
So, the kids are in school now. When the kids were younger, we would have them find these 10 pieces of bread. We had some interesting things. Bread doesn't burn that well, just with a match. And real stickler for things I wanted to burn, you know, be ashes. And you can't get, you know, you can put it in a paper bag and it won't burn. The best thing to do is put it in those little plastic bags, because that plastic really burns. So that's better. Then, you know, we used lighter fluid and some newspapers once, and that really got it going. And one time, we always did it on the back deck, and the gasoline can there was for the lawnmower, so we put some of that on there. You don't want to use gasoline. Don't use gasoline.
No.
That was a little too much. Okay, maybe a little lighter fluid or something. Okay, be careful burning the chametz if you do that. We're gonna do it
Like a man.
live for you. We're gonna, you know, say the prayer, and we'll actually do it, and you know, the whole bit.
Right.
That'll be Friday morning when we this coming Friday morning, Nissan 14. We'll do the burning of the, you know, the chametz to get rid of sin. It represents getting rid of sin. We'll do a physical act to represent a spiritual truth in getting rid of the chametz. And that's one of the, you know, the second step to getting ready for Pesach or Passover. So I think that's it, you know, today, real quick.
That was good.
You know, may the blessings of our Lord and Savior be upon you before I fall out, you know, in Yeshua's name.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Shalom.